Everyone, we're going to start a few minutes early this morning. We've got a packed program, so let's rise and sing our patriotic song, America the Beautiful.
Thank you all for all the cherished women in our lives and in our histories, mothers, sisters, friends, and neighbors. God, may women across the globe continue to be empowered, knowing the love you offer.
Amen. Amen. It's good to see so many of you here with us this morning. Alexa, would you like to introduce our visitors and guests?
Yes. That's the way most like it. Not stupid.
Aaron Golden. Thank you, Aaron. Morgan Thomas.
Welcome to everyone, and thank you for being with us this morning. A couple of very quick announcements I wanted to just read from an email I got from Doug Cook. Is Joanne Smythe here this morning? It's a shame because Joanne donated the basket that we took to the St. Patrick's District Foundation Gala a couple weekends ago. As Doug said, there were 97 people in attendance at that meeting. Everyone had a great time. They did a silent auction for 32 baskets, including the one that Joanne donated, and raised $5,600 for the foundation. So it's a very good event. I think there are about 7 or 8 of us from the Emmaus Club there. So thanks to the club for supporting that, and especially Joanne. There is a board meeting after today's meeting, so hopefully all of you got that email from me, and we'll be able to stay for that. You also should have received a ballot when you walked in. Who didn't get a ballot? Okay, Mark, I'm going to give you the stack. If you can just send this around. So this is the second round of voting for our board of directors for 2018-2019. Normally, on the first round, we knock it down to 8, but we had some ties, so the list is a little bit longer. So you're to vote for 4, and that will, the top 4 vote getters will be the at-large members of our board for next year. When you have completed your ballot, Nicole Starr is going to be at the back of the room after the meeting collecting them. So make sure that she gets your ballot. Alicia, did you want to make a brief announcement about next week?
Yes, I just want to remind everybody that we have our cyber workshop, which we call it the family workshop on cyber safety. We will have it from 6 to 7:30 at the Willow Lane Elementary School. Thank you, Tony, again for hosting us, and thank God for all the work. We will have a woman from the Crime Victims Council talking about safety and all the aspects of watching our kids that give us a signal that something is going on. We're also going to have a police officer who's been involved in cyber security for a long, long time from the District Attorney's Office. And we will have our Interact students who will give us the hands-on how to access the apps that our children are using. Please sign up. You have until tomorrow, it's the last day for signing up. Just you have the trumpet information. Go in, sign up, invite your grandparents, your parents, if your friends, and I will be there because I'm one of those who still needs a lot of help with the social media. So please come and join us.
Thank you, Alicia. Mark, you wanted to make an announcement as well.
Yes, good morning. On each table, I have two of the flyers that we put together for our first motorcycle poker run, raise money for veterans. As I mentioned before, all the money is going to Keystone Warriors, which is a 501c3. The event is Saturday, May 12th, with a rain date of the next day. It's going to be in Alberta's Park. I actually was thinking I should have gone into sales, because I went in there, I said motorcycles, poker, and alcohol, and they approved it unanimously. But you know, a good group of people and getting together for a good cause. Should be a lot of fun. We right now have about, we have over $3,000 in sponsorships lined up. Thank you to many people in the club, but we've also reached out and tried to broaden awareness and get some other organizations involved. The four that we have listed for superior sponsors at the $300 level are listed there. And then we have our distinguished sponsor, Nutri-Poli Bank, at the $1,500 level. So it's shaping up to be a wonderful event. We'd love to have more people involved. You can see some ways to get in there. And for the first time ever, we now have the ability to process credit card payments right on our website. So look for this event underneath the upcoming events on the left-hand side, or you can go to pokerrun.emmausrotary.org and sign up right there. So we got the home stretch here. Really appreciate continued involvement. If you have questions or anything, or would like to help out, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, and to the whole committee that's working on that. It's been an excellent example of teamwork bringing this together for this project. Any other announcements from the floor? Bob?
Thank you. We're still collecting the little tabs from the Coke and the soup cans and the tuna fish cans. We have 4 1-gallon jugs filled. We're working on the 5th one. So I got a couple bags this morning, but don't forget, it's a forever thing. As long as I'm here, we'll keep collecting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Sue?
I have a message here from Pete Roberts. As you know, Pete had a devastating happening in his life just not long ago when his daughter died. He is now in the hospital, and so I will send a card immediately. He expects to be home on Saturday, but we'll bring one next week so we can all sign it. So that's Pete, and if you should have his address if you want to send him a card, please do so.
Thank you, Sue. Where is he? Anyone else? Okay, Alan, how about the raffle? Why don't we have one person pick 3 tickets?
One person pick 3 tickets.
Say one at a time.
Not my ticket. Or will be after the 3rd one's drawn.
Can't lose if you don't play.
Right.
The first one is 563-5642.
642, the last 3 digits.
Don't read so many numbers, you're confused.
By the way, the only reason you can't win is you stole my bacon.
I don't have a ticket.
636.
Right here, Alan.
Okay, 646.
Come on.
Great.
Okay, congratulations to all the winners. Mr. Blows, are you ready with fines and happy dollars?
Oh, that's a fine. God.
Yes, sir.
It's been a standing rule in Rotary since God was born. You don't address any member by Mr. That's a fine. Just keep up.
All right, well then, what we have is we have a program that's gonna run real long. There's a few people that don't have name badges on, so we don't know who they are. So I won't be able to find Flag or Cindy. So anybody leaving early? All right, so I will get those from you. That'll be fine. I'm gonna go right to happy dollars because we got a lot of
$1,000. We had a very successful Optimus of Emmaus campaign bingo on Friday. We raised about $8,000, so that goes back to the community. So thank you to everybody who helped sponsor that event, and yeah, we look forward to the 8th meeting. The 8th time we're going to do it will be next year. So yeah, it's pretty good. That's it.
Just a couple of things. Want to say thank you to all the people who helped with the speech contest that happened several weeks ago. We had a very successful speech contest. The candidates will come and go to their speeches soon. I want to thank everyone for their cards and support. My brother unexpectedly passed a couple weeks ago, so that was unfortunate, but I appreciate everyone's support. And, I just got back from a trip to, it was a study tour in South Africa. It was bad timing, but it was a very successful trip and an enlightening experience. It was really wonderful. So those are my thoughts today. Thank you, everyone.
I wanted to say thank you for everybody that attended my fundraiser for the March of Dimes. We actually did a combined fundraiser for Ethan and Noah Mighty Miracles as well as Lily's Hope. And what I wanted to do is present a check for $601.50 to Lily's Hope as part of that fundraiser.
Great.
Dale?
Yes. Pardon me, I have $2 happy dollars and a $2 fine because I came in late and I need to sign in yet. All right, you'll let me do that?
I will definitely.
You're a good boy.
Your signature too, but that's fine.
You're right. I'm very happy and thankful that Alan Fornwalt was willing to share some of his bacon with me since there was none left in the pan. And Mark Earl, I'm happy that I helped you out physically by taking the overabundance of the bacon that you had in your plate.
You pointing at me?
Yes.
Happy, I was quasi-happy. I was down in Florida last week, missed the 15-inch snowstorm, and I flew around for an hour around the Tampa Bay area. It was beautiful. I had a great time.
Very good. Mike?
Just a reminder that this is the time of year when Remembrance Garden starts to gear up for Memorial Day weekend and we install bricks for veterans. Considering ordering a brick for a veteran to be installed that weekend, May 27th, have to have the orders by April 1, this Sunday. You can go to the Remembrance Garden website, emmausremembrance.org, and we'll design it and order it right on the website. Last year we put in 35 bricks for veterans. We had about 200 people at the ceremony. I never know what it's going to be each year, but we've had several Rotarians be involved in that. Sunday is the deadline. I have to have these. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to turn the program over to Chairperson of the International Women's Day Celebration, Alicia Louise.
Before we begin this award ceremony, I would like to introduce our special guests who are joining us today. I'll start with Miss Lily Driscoll, daughter of our honoree Jennifer Kunes Driscoll. Jim Geiger, husband of our honoree Debra and Geiger. Jerry Foran, president of the Bethlehem Rotary Club. Dee Dee Foran, Bethlehem Club Rotarian. Debra Gilbreth, editor of the East End Press newspaper. And Justin Driscoll, husband of Jennifer Kunes Driscoll. Our honorees will be introduced following my brief remarks. So let's welcome our guests with a warm applause. On March 8th, the world celebrates International Women's Day. It was the suffragettes who started International Women's Day as part of their decisive action for equality with the first official event held in 1911. On International Women's Day, we're encouraged to reflect upon the important roles women have in society and how far equal rights have come, while celebrating the social, cultural, economic, and political achievements of women. Around the world, many exciting and important awards are run to support International Women's Day. These awards aim to celebrate women's achievements and increase visibility. March is also known as Women's History Month. It is celebrated in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia. In 1987, the US Congress passed a joint resolution known as Public Law 100-9, which designated March as Women's History Month. Since 1988, US presidents have issued the annual proclamation to highlight the contribution of women to events in history and contemporary society. As for Rotary International, what is the history of women in Rotary? As our president, Bert Duren, pointed out in this week's issue of The Trumpet, our club's electronic newsletter, Rotary did not admit female members until the late 1980s. Although the 1989 Council and legislation voted to admit women into Rotary clubs, it was at the option of the clubs. Nonetheless, worldwide, this remains a watershed moment in the history of Rotary. By June 1990, the number of female Rotarians had skyrocketed to over 20,000, but it was not until July 1995 that Rotarians selected the first 8 women to become district governors. In 2005, Rotary began electing women to be the first to serve on the board of directors and the Rotary Foundation. Indeed, Rotary International has come a long way in the last 30 years. Today, of the 1.2 million Rotary members worldwide, about 272,000 are women. For the current Rotary year, 103 of the 539 district governors are women. To celebrate International Women's Day on March 7 this year, Rotary International recognized 3 Rotarian women for their commitment to improving lives through innovative humanitarian projects at a ceremony in Washington, D.C. Our Emmaus Rotary Club, under the leadership of our president, Bert Duren, is proud to be the first Rotary Club in District 7430 to join this celebration for the first time by honoring 2 remarkable women who exemplify Rotary's values of service above self. And now, to introduce our first honoree is fellow Rotarian, David Dunn.
Thank you, Alicia. It's my honor to introduce Debra and Geiger this morning. Like most of us, I'd also like to tell you something about her accomplishments. Like most of us, a long time ago, Deb got her undergraduate degree, in her case in community health from Penn State, and then she went on to earn an MBA at the University of Nebraska and another master's in national security management through our armed forces. For 26 years, Deb has served in the Air Force as a healthcare executive and locally from 2004 to 2012 as an executive director focused on drug and alcohol prevention. Back in 2008, Deb joined Rotary. She's a strong contributor to the Rotary Foundation, a 3-time Paul Harris awardee, and a Bequest Society member. Deb has a 100% attendance record. I think today might count as a makeup. And she served as a director for 5 years. She was a program chair multiple times, a grant writer, and a Bethlehem Rotary Foundation chair for several years. One of Deb's special contributions is as a member of the club's Taste and Tunes effort, which raises between $40,000 and $70,000 a year for grants to organizations such as the Hispanic Center in Bethlehem and the Junior League. Looking outside our region, back in 2012, Deb was a non-medical Rotarian volunteer who served in Colombia, South America. There, she managed children's medical records who were scheduled for cleft palate surgery. Back home Back home, Deb is a member of the Rotary International Yachting Fellowship, a group that focuses on teaching principles and fellowship of Rotary through the love of boats and water-related activities. Locally, Deb serves on the board of the Neighborhood Health Centers of the Lehigh Valley. She previously served as a veteran mentor. She's treasurer of her church and led the Lehigh Valley Community Foundation. She and her husband participate in the Leonard Poole Society, which is a philanthropic arm of the Lehigh Valley Health Network, and is past president of the Bethlehem AIDS Service Center. And when all these things are done, Dad sleeps. So Bert Doran, if you would come back up to the podium, please.
Thank you, David. Deb, would you join me up here, please? I want to read a proclamation that we received to be presented to you today. It's from the House of Representatives in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Whereas Debra Ann Geiger is being honored upon receiving the Rotary Award from the Emmaus Rotary Club during its International Women's Day celebration, which will be held, it's supposed to be March 8th, but it's actually March 29th. And whereas a graduate of the Penn State University, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and the Industrial College of the Armed Forces, Mrs. Geiger served this country with honor as a healthcare executive in the U.S. Air Force for 26 years. She was an executive director for the Center of Humanistic Change. She joined the Bethlehem Rotary Club in 2008 and is a Paul Harris Fellow, a Bequest Society and Rotary International Yachting Fellowship member, and a generous contributor to the Rotary Foundation. A member of the Board of Directors for 5 years, Mrs. Geiger presently serves as the club's program co-chair and grant writer, and she's active with the district designated funds grant and the membership committees. I'm not going to read it all because it's basically repeating what David said. It's all here though, believe me. Now therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania lauds Debra Ann Geiger for her well-deserved honor, wishes her every future success and happiness, and directs that a copy of this citation, sponsored by the Honorable Steve Samuelson on March 5, 2018, be transmitted to Debra Ann Geiger. It's signed by Representative Samuelson, Mike Tarazi, the Speaker of the House, and attested to by David Redcliffe, the Chief Clerk of the House. So Debra, I'd like to present this to you. In addition to the proclamation from the House of Representatives, I'd like to present you with the first Emmaus Rotary Club International Women's Day Rotary Award for outstanding leadership and international and local humanitarian service. Congratulations.
Okay, Alicia gave me 8 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast. You're going to have to listen fast. First, thank you to all of you, to the committee, who I know had a daunting task because I have met so many awesome women in this district. Special thanks to Jerry, who took the time and effort to submit this for me. The first question that Alicia wanted me to answer was, why did you join Rotary? First of all, I think before joining, you have to become interested in Rotary, and my reasons were that I wanted to network and learn more about Bethlehem. I was living in a city that I really didn't know a lot about. So I went to the meeting, and my sponsor, who invited me to the meeting, she left to go to Oregon. So I just kept going to meetings, and eventually somebody asked me to join. I loved it there. There were prolific conversationalists and travelers. And when I learned that Rotary's motto was service above self, which was the same motto as the Air Force Medical Service, it just felt like a perfect fit. What has Rotary done for me? It's given me a more of a world view. In the military, we had that all the time. We knew colleagues who were around the world. We kept up with what was happening in the world. And so I was looking for something that would give me that, and Rotary certainly does that for me. We've done two global projects with Pune, India, and so it's just wonderful.
Rotary has become my community. I've developed an executed projects with people. We've bowled together, sung together with the national anthem for the Iron Pigs and Phillies, and we've grieved the loss of club members together. And as my own life has changed dramatically, I've had people to talk to and discuss and share personal stories with. So that's important. Let's see.
How are you doing? Is that where you want to be?
Sure. No, I think we have to go back one. So after coming back from Colombia, I heard an interview on 60 Minutes with Shakira, a singer from Colombia, and she had built some schools in Colombia, and they asked her why she did that. She was already well-known, famous, and she said it brought meaning to her life. It gave her relevance, and I think that's what Rotary has done for me. While I am very appreciative of this recognition, I think what I do and what most of us do in Rotary is not about recognition. It's about making the world and the community a better place. And I have chosen to do that through Rotary. Okay, next slide. So I was asked to look at what humanitarian project I love most, and that is so difficult. I love standing shoulder to shoulder out in the cold with my friend Maria Nathans ringing the bell for Salvation Army. I'm very grateful for having the ability to donate to the foundation to get funds to earthquake and flood victims. I was thrilled to participate in the Rotoplas mission. It was culturally expanding, professionally rewarding, and it introduced me to Rotarians from lots of different places. I also love going into the schools and putting dictionaries in the hands of third graders. But I really love developing projects and working together with Rotarians to execute those projects. And our Taste and Tunes, being on that committee, that's exactly what that does. So I think everything that I've had the opportunity to do in Rotary has made me a better citizen of the world. Okay, now, she asked me to address some of what I think are issues in Rotary now and in the future. I believe that, I think the statistic I heard was that we take in as many people in a year as new members as we lose each year. So I think we really need to pay attention to membership retention. It's critical to the vitality of our clubs. And I think we have to get personal to do that. We do a lot of things. I think keeping quality speakers, having engaging projects. We started something new this year where I'm sure we stole the idea from another club, but we have mentors for our new members. So it gives them somebody other than their sponsor that they're close to. And I think all of this helps us build better relationships. And I think that fundamentally we have to have better relationships with people to keep them, to retain them as members. And so it's all about relationship building. Locally in the Lehigh Valley, I know, and probably in other communities around the world, we have a lot of competition for new members, for people who want to donate their time, treasures, and talents. And so I think that we really need to figure out how to differentiate ourselves. Whenever we talk about that, I hear people talking about rebranding and using social media. I think social media is a tool, but ultimately, I think it is about, again, relating to people and also sharing our core mission, vision, and values. So we have to figure out how to do that. So finally, one last thing is, I think, how am I doing on time? I think we need to take risks. And Alicia talked about how we came about having women in Rotary, but I'm not sure if people recognize that it was the Rotary Club of Duarte, California. Did anyone know that? So Duarte, California took a huge risk in inviting women to join. Rotary gave up on them. They did away with their charter, and but eventually it was March 30th, so tomorrow, 31 years ago, that the Supreme Court heard the decision or re-looked at the California decision to allow women, to say that women could not be, or the clubs couldn't discriminate by gender. So kudos to the Duarte Club. I think all of us need to take risks if we're going to bring in new members and continue to do the wonderful work that we do as citizens of the world. Thank you. It's been an honor to be with you today.
That's a hard act to follow. I have the honor of introducing the recipient of the Emmaus Rotary 2018 Community Award. Now, this award honors a woman who is leading the way in outstanding achievement and exemplary record of service to her community. And the honoree also, of course, exemplifies the four-way test of Rotary. And that person happens to be Jennifer Kunes Driscoll, who also has her daughter Lily, who her foundation was named after. Her and her husband Justin, who's also here, luckily she has lots of support, had two children born prematurely, Lily and Aiden. And they started this foundation because they knew of the hardships and the experience that people went through from having premature babies. And they started Lily's Hope Foundation in 2003 to support the people who also had premature babies. Now, in 2003, since 2003, they have helped over 1,000 families in the Lehigh Valley and across 41 states. They have partnered with 8 hospitals in Pennsylvania, as well as 1 in North Carolina, and these hospitals actually asked them for support. And what their support is they provide packages of hope. And these packages of hope actually help answer the unexpected and urgent needs of premature babies. And aside from being the co-founder and executive director of Lily's Hope, Jennifer also works full-time as the office manager at Cryotechnologies, an engineering firm in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And she also, as well, because of course every mom can multitask, she sits on the board of the Standards and Member Development Committees of the Preemie Parent Alliance. And on top of that, she also sits on, she's a member of the board of St. Luke's and Lehigh Valley Hospital NICU advisory boards. Now, she actually graduated from Moravian College with a bachelor's and a master's in business administration, and then on top of that, as if she doesn't have enough on her plate, they always say, ask a busy mom if you need something done. She, in November of 2017, co-authored a book with her daughter Lily called A Preemie's Journey of Hope, and that was just in November of 2017. So in spring, because she wasn't busy enough, she is now going to be publishing another book called Preemie Parents, Tips to Get You Through the NICU. So it is my honor to ask her to please come up to present her award.
Thank you, Dee. Jen, could you join me up here? I have the honor of a proclamation having been delivered as well from the House of Representatives on your behalf. I'm going to skip the middle paragraph, if that's okay. But I'll read the pertinent parts here. Whereas Jennifer Kunes Driscoll is being honored upon receiving the award from Emmaus Rotary Club during its International Women's Day celebration. Now, therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania lauds Jennifer Kunes Driscoll on her well-deserved honor, affirmatively states that she stands as a role model truly worthy of emulation, wishes her every future success and happiness, and directs that a copy of this citation, sponsored by the Honorable Justin J. Simmons, on March 5, 2018 be transmitted to her. It's signed by Representative Simmons, also by Speaker Mike Tarazi, and attested by the Chief Clerk of the House. So congratulations on this citation.
Let's try it.
There we go. This is live. I also have the honor of presenting to you the Emmaus Rotary Club International Women's Day Community Award for outstanding leadership and community service to the Lehigh Valley. Congratulations. Okay, the platform is yours. I'm not sure which microphone you want to use.
Okay.
Oh, second.
Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, great. This is awesome. Thank you so much for letting us come out today. Lily's excited because she gets to go to school late today, so we're all happy to be here. Thank you to my dad for nominating me and the committee, and Alicia for putting this awesome morning together. To John for his awesome donation this morning to Lily's Hope. What a great way to start the day off. Go ahead. So we are the Driscoll family. Our son Aiden was here this morning, but he went off with a babysitter for the morning so that we could be here with you today. We are the founders, standing here before you, of a family-focused, all-volunteer nonprofit, as was described before. We all work full-time jobs. Justin's a police officer in Upper Saucon. As she mentioned before, I'm an office manager for a firm in Allentown, and my dad has graciously retired and works for us full-time and does not get paid, unfortunately. But hey, maybe we'll get there one day. We started the foundation in honor of, we started with Lily and Hope, her namesake for the foundation. She was born, you probably heard my speech before, some of you before, she was 2 pounds, 12 ounces, 15 inches long, and spent about a month at Lehigh Valley Hospital NICU. She was 7 weeks early and was really small for her gestational age. The lungs are typically the last thing to develop, and that was really her issue. These pictures are from her birthday, and actually she's pretty healthy in these pictures. If you can go to the next slide, you can see Lily in that evening had really become very ill and had crashed. She had been put onto a ventilator, an oscillator. She had a chest tube inserted. She had all kinds of health issues, and about 8 days old, she pulled herself off the ventilator, and from then on, it was smooth sailing from there. Then we had Aiden, who in 2013 was born, 5 pounds, 2 ounces, and 18 inches long, also in the NICU at Lehigh Valley Hospital. And you can go to the next slide. They are doing really well today, but it took them to get through some hurdles to get to where they are today. Both of them had speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. They're both very delayed in walking and talking. Lily was 2.5 before she started to talk. She did have a surgery down at Children's Hospital, a gastrointestinal surgery in Philadelphia when she was 3. And Aiden also contracted RSV at 3 months old, spent time at Lehigh Valley Hospital again, and does have severe asthma. A lot of these issues are because they were both born prematurely. We did start the foundation. We got our 501c3 in March, just a few weeks ago. We celebrated our 5-year anniversary, March of 2013, inspired by a few things. We were not prepared. My sorority sisters were putting together my nursery. Justin and my dad were buying our crib. We were not ready at all. And a neighbor across the street had provided us with a few items. She had given us paper plates, cups, bowls, and napkins, things that we needed while we were going back and forth, driving back to Lehigh Valley Hospital, so that we didn't have to do dishes. This is where our packages of hope come in. This is how we support our families, and we support them through a few different ways. The first is a hospital package of hope, focusing on gas gift cards, food gift cards, items for siblings, blankets, lunch boxes so that moms can either bring breast milk back and forth to the NICU or food for themselves, for parents when they're going back and forth. We also do a transition home package of hope. This is where we do car seat beds for babies who can go home but cannot hold their heads up to be in a car seat. We do all kinds of hand wash kits, special formulas, preemie diapers, micro-preemie clothing, and preemie clothing as well. We do focus on the siblings. After having Lily, having Aiden in the NICU with Lily, we realized that there was also a need for siblings. So we do puzzles, games, activities, coloring books, easy things to make sure that the siblings feel appreciated, but also to keep them busy as well. Last but not least, in our packages of hope, we do an emergency emergency package of hope transition home. These are things like the car seat beds that I mentioned, where a baby can go home laying flat. And then we've also done a babble band, which it looks like an Apple Watch on the wrist, and for parents that are deaf and cannot hear the baby crying, it sends a vibration to their wrist so they know that they can respond. These are kind of things where we answer the needs that insurance can't fulfill, but can really satisfy the needs for a parent on their transition home. We are also working with your Rotary group to provide a kangaroo chair to Lehigh Valley Hospital. This encourages skin-to-skin contact for the baby, a lot of nurturing and helping them to grow. We have recently donated one to St. Luke's Hospital and some Mamaroo chairs. As she mentioned before, we started with Grandview Hospital. They're a 6-bed NICU down in Sellersville, and we have expanded. We have all 3 Lehigh Valley hospitals, both St. Luke's hospitals, and then we have all 3 hospitals in Bucks County that have NICUs, St. Mary's, Grandview, and I just blanked, Doylestown. And then we just recently, last month, added Caramont Medical in North Carolina. They've reached out to us. Got started in 2014 because Aiden was born that year and was in the NICU as well. So we just got started in 2014 with 44 families. Then we supported 145 and 254. And last year was 478. And right now we're at 170 some so far just this year. So we just hit our 1,000 mark for our families that we've helped in the past 5 years. And like she mentioned before, we're also up to 42 states. That West Virginia state just got filled in, and so did Vermont. So we're up to 42 at this point. We've also shipped people refer to us, word of mouth, people we've helped before, and also find us via their hospital. Hospitals are now posting our flyers in their waiting rooms. Go ahead. We are an all-volunteer nonprofit, as I mentioned before, and cannot continue what we're doing without the help of volunteers. Keep going. Sorry, my time's running out. We do also have a monthly packing party down at the Capital Blue Cross store to pack up parts of our care packages. And all of our events, all of our fundraising is done through events or from volunteers like John who do fundraisers for us. We do a walk down at at Chestnut Hill College, our Lily's Loop walks. Just had our St. Patrick's Day Gala at Hotel Bethlehem last weekend. Our golf tournament of hope is coming up at the end of April. And our walk is out here at the Velodrome in October. Sorry. And then we have 2 events, 2 smaller events. We have an egg hunt that we just held this past Tuesday, and then we do a Holly Jolly holiday party in December. Lily's Loop and Lily's Hope are trademarked by the U.S. Patent Office. We have an online support group for our parents so that they can have support as well. They found each other in the NICU through our Facebook support group. As she mentioned before, Lily and I wrote a book that's available on Amazon right now. This book is a part of our care packages as well. It talks about Lily's journey through the NICU and how hope followed her from the time she was born until now, and how Aiden and her participate in the foundation. And I do have another book coming out late this spring. We were able to ask for our Families of Hope to give feedback on what tips they would like to include for our families that are in the NICU. And we just moved. We have moved into an office on Cedar Crest Boulevard, right by Lincoln Ave and Cedar Crest. We have our inventory there. The idea with the office is to expand, have volunteers to support so that we can have help with our packages of hope. And then it's also a donation drop-off point for us. And future goals, as the foundation continues to grow, looking to support additional hospitals, expand the contents of our packages of hope program, increase revenue, and increase non-monetary donations like the paper products and things like that, where we can have supply drives, increase volunteer participation, and then continue to raise awareness about the foundation. So that's it. Thank you all very much. Thanks for letting me talk today, and thank you for this awesome award. I appreciate it.
The seed for the celebration of International Women's Day was planted with Jeff McElhaney close to the end of his presidency last year. As a result, he enthusiastically embraced the idea and passed it on to our now President Bert Duren. From the very beginning, Bert wholeheartedly supported the idea, so much so that he made it one of his goals as president this year. I can't think of a better way to tell your club members that this is an important initiative. Bert, you gave a clear signal to us that we had 100% of your support. Thank you for your encouragement and your faith on us getting it done. As we all know, it's action that converts ideas into realities. The idea became today's reality because of the commitment, dedication, and hard work of our skilled and talented fellow Rotarians and committee members, David Dunn, Deanne, and Rose Galliano-Phillips, who was also the co-chair of the committee. Although I was the committee chair, this could have not been accomplished without them. Thank you, David, Dee, and Rose. Next year it should be a piece of cake, right? Receiving a citation from our local state representatives, I believe is something special. Thanks to fellow Rotarian Judge Douglas Reichley. Are you here? Yes. Who contacted our honorary state representatives, and on a very short notice, we were able to obtain the citations presented today. Thank you, and next year we'll make sure we'll give you notice with plenty of time. Thank you to our Emmaus clubs and other clubs Rotarians such as Jerry Foran for your impressive submissions of very qualified nominees. Our committee's task to select the 2 nominees being recognized today was not easy. All the nominees were deserving of recognition. If yours was not selected this year, we strongly encourage you to submit your nomination again next year. Lexa Shallcross and John Shiska, thank you for helping us with the publicity of this event in the Trumpet, the Facebook, from nominations to awards. And a couple of more thanks. Once again, the East Bend Press shows its support for our club's work through Deb Gilbright's attendance to this event. Thank you for joining us, and we are looking forward to the coverage by your respected newspaper. To our special guest, I hope this was as a special morning as it was for us. To our honorees, Deb and Jen, I say thank you for the privilege and the honor of allowing us to recognize your accomplishments and your humanitarian service. Keep doing what you're doing. And last but certainly not least, thank you to all of you fellow Rotarians for supporting us with your presence. As you have already realized, our club will celebrate International Women's Day annually going forward. As modern day suffragettes, female, male, and all genders, let us continue the work and spirit of the almighty suffragettes, fighting the good fight, and let us continue to recognize, honor, and celebrate the important and impressive achievements of women globally. Today, International Women's Day belongs to all groups collectively, everywhere. International Women's Day is not country, group, or organization specific. Fellow Rotarians, let's continue to make International Women's Day our day.
Let's give Alicia and her committee a big hand. They really did a tremendous job organizing this, and for our honorees, Deb and Jen, congratulations. Thank you for everything you do in the community. Thank you for sharing your stories with us this morning. I think it's appropriate, since we honored a Rotarian this morning, that we close the meeting by reciting the four-way test, which is on the banner behind you. Those of you who can't see it, I'll turn it up in. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill in our friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a great day.
Just very quickly, the honorees, and the honorees could we please come to the front to have a picture taken with our president?